My favorite part of the NBA season is when an old head says a crazy take and the media goes wild. Dennis Rodman went and claimed that Larry Bird wouldn't survive in today's era, so today I'm proving that wrong. We have an 86 overall Larry Bird in free agency, an 84 overall Dennis Rodman in free agency as well. We're going to let both of them sign to whatever teams they want. This is also the following season, not the current season that just ended, so Porzingis is on the Celtics, you got Chris Paul on the Warriors, Victor on the Spurs, everybody's where they should be. Larry Bird has signed a one-year deal with the Miami Heat. He might not stay for long because this is a loaded team. He'll probably get a new contract next season, but this is a cool first season for him to have. Dennis Rodman is over on the Dallas Mavericks with Luka, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jaden Hardy, and that's about it. The rest of their team, not the greatest. So far, both teams are doing really poorly. The Heat are 13th and the Mavericks are 14th, so I wonder if these two legends can help them turn their franchises around. On top of the players being in the league already, like Larry and Rodman, every season I'm going to throw in two players from that era who have either played or played against those two. So for the first draft class, we are adding in Robert Parrish and Bill Laimbeer, two of the greatest big men from their era. Two guys who I don't know how they would do in current day basketball at all. It's kind of a toss-up. Let me know down below which forgotten big man from the early basketball history, like the 80s, the 90s. Drop a random center you think would be good in the current NBA. If you think Jeff Rowland would be a hooper, then say Jeff Rowland. Giannis is your MVP. Victor's your Rookie of the Year. Ben Simmons, sixth-man defensive. Giannis, most improved. Isaiah Jackson and Quinn Snyder with the Hawks is your Coach of the Year. I think it's a little bit too early for any of our guys to be superstars or all-NBA team guys yet. James Harden's on the Bucks with Giannis. That's a fun duo. And I lied. Larry Bird actually made the all-NBA third team, averaging 22, 8, and 7 with 2 steals a game, shooting pretty efficiently. Dennis Rodman, playing next to Luka, averaged 19 and 14 with 2.6 assists and 1.5 blocks. He is playing very, very well. Usually Dennis Rodman is a little finicky in simulation, but right now he is doing great. Injuries are still being left on, by the way, so they don't have JaVale or Tim Hardaway in this playoff run. They are the 5th seed. Miami is the 4th seed. Both players are on opposite sides of the league. Dallas is up 3-1. Miami is down 3-1, and the Miami came back down 3-1 against Boston. Okay. Both teams move on to the second round, but unfortunately, Larry Bird is about to go up against Quinn Snyder, and if you know, Quinn Snyder does not lose in 2K anymore. He's too good. The Hawks have a god squad over there. They just traded John Collins for Rudy Gay. I don't think that trade has been updated in this, so oops, my bad, but it's okay. We got Game 7 here. Dennis Rodman and Luka taking on Ja Morant, Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson Jr. Grit and grind is back. 3 minutes left in the game. The Mavs are up 7. Can they keep this lead and win the game? It's a 5-point game. They win by 2, and we're in the conference finals. Luka and Dennis Rodman are going to be taking on Klay Thompson, Curry, Boogie Cousins' old self, and Chris Paul off the bench. We're only doing this video for 5 seasons, so if Dennis Rodman wins a chip in his first year, he's already going to have the upper hand on Larry Bird, but so far it's not looking too great as we got Curry versus Trey in the finals. Shooter versus shooter, who's going to outshoot the other? It ended up being Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Trey, finals MVP, averaging 30 and 12. One season down, neither of the legends won a championship. They're both on a 1-year deal, so they could end up somewhere entirely different this season. Dennis Rodman joins a very talented team led by LaMelo Ball, Pascal Siakam, and the injured Brandon Miller, who just got drafted last year. This team is loaded. It might be pretty solid for Dennis Rodman to win a championship. He signed a 3-year deal with them. And on the flip side, Larry Bird has gone to Dennis Rodman's former team for a 4-year deal, getting paid that big bag. He's teaming up with Cade Cunningham and old Kawhi Leonard, Jaden Ivey, Durant, Christian Wood is here, one half of the Thompson twins is here. This team could be really special as well. Both in the Eastern Conference, we could see them match up together in the Eastern Conference Finals. That is if both teams do very well. The Pistons started off with 4 straight wins and then 4 straight losses, so it's anybody's game at this point. Well, that happened quicker than I expected. Victor, your MVP, 27 and 13 with 4 assists, 3 blocks. Good for him. DJ Wagner, Rookie of the Year. Scoot, 6th man of the year, backing up Dame Dalla. RJ Barrett made the All-NBA second team. I haven't seen him do good in simulation all year, but now he's averaging 29 for the Knicks, so that's kind of cool. Larry Bird made the All-NBA third team, averaging 19 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. Once again, shooting very well. The Pistons ended up securing the 1st seed, as well as the Hornets getting the 6th seed. Dennis Rodman's team isn't as good as the Pistons. The Pistons are kind of loaded, which is proven right there as Cleveland sweeps Charlotte. No more Dennis, but we still got Larry. He's going up against the Raptors. We win in 6. Who do the Raptors even have? Jaylen Brown is now on the team. DeMar DeRozan's returned to Canada. We got Grady Dick, Lonzo Ball, Scotty Barnes, OG Vucevic. Vucevic, THT, Austin Reeves. Hey man, that Raptors team is pretty loaded themselves. They're not all that bad. We are taking on that super team Hawks, or aka Quinn Snyder and his god superpowers. It's kind of like a pink diamond or galaxy. Honestly, it's like a dark matter coach in my team, I'm not gonna lie, but we make it to the finals. Cade versus Shea. We got Larry versus whoever the hell else they got over in OKC. Kawhi versus Lou Dort's gonna be a fun matchup, but I think we should win this series. I mean, we got Larry Bird, we got Kawhi, we have the veteran championship DNA on this team, and in the second season, Larry Bird has won an NBA championship. The Pistons are champs. Shout out to Cade Cunningham. I think it's really funny that Larry Bird ends up winning a title with Dennis Rodman's team. It proves that he could succeed in this era and succeed even better for the Pistons than technically Dennis Rodman did. I think Larry needs a few more championships to be considered a bigger Pistons legend, but I'm sure he'll get there. Larry Bird has passed Cade Cunningham, and overall, he is now the best player on the Detroit Pistons. Dennis Rodman, he's a 90 overall, so he's the right-hand man to LaMelo. I also just realized that Dennis Rodman went to the Hornets, which used to be owned by Michael Jordan. I think he just sold his stake in it, or his share, or whatever it's called. I don't need to use the actual terminology. You know what I'm saying. Danny Ainge and John Sally are the next two players to join the NBA. Maybe they'll do good, maybe they won't. Danny Ainge is a shooting guard. He's kind of like the white Patty Mills. Former teammate of Dennis Rodman wins MVP. Luka, triple-double with 30 points. Joe Dumars, your rookie of the year over in New Orleans. Teaming up with Zion, he's averaging 13 and 10, solid numbers. Thompson, twin number 2, or technically number 5, right? Because that's where he went in the draft. I guess we could call him that. Giannis, defense player of the year and most improved Isaiah Collier. 24 points, 10 assists, 2 steals. Good for him. Quinn Snyder still rules the world, unfortunately. And if you wonder why I call the Thompson twins just one of the Thompson twins, I am too scared to mispronounce their names being a top 5 draft pick and everybody go crazy and yell at me. I don't want to deal with it today. Either way, Larry Bird made the All-NBA second team this season, averaging 21, 8, and 9. I would say that he is succeeding in the modern era. We haven't seen Dennis Rodman here once, so hey, who's better? Who's better, Larry or Dennis? You let me know. I think it's pretty obvious. Oh god, there was a rule change and I didn't look at it. Oh man, what has gone on? I don't really pay attention to the rule changes because they never bother me. Nothing ever happens that ruins the simulation, but apparently this one went through last season. Top teams across the league seeded. You know what? We're gonna rock with it. This feels fun and fancy. Joe Dumars versus Larry Bird in the first round, and then Scoot versus Brandon Miller and Dennis Rodman in the first round. Like, this is so much more fun. And honestly, I don't want to go back and change it. We're already here as it is, so we got a sweep for the Pistons. Charlotte's having a close series, though. I feel like the first round shouldn't be nearly as close with this new setup, but here we go. We got the Houston Rockets as the 7th seed, and then we got Charlotte taking on Dallas. Dennis Rodman is taking on his former team and his former teammate in the NBA playoffs. I didn't think that would ever happen. They'd have to get to the finals for that to happen usually. Luka proves that he's better. Sorry to the Hornets. They got absolutely washed. Detroit Pistons beat not the Houston Rockets. Not yet, at least. There we go, in 6. Eastern Conference Finals, I guess. This isn't really East only anymore, but here we go. We're playing the Raptors. We win the first 3 games. It's going to be a clean sweep. Now we either play Philly or Dallas in the NBA Finals. I just looked out my window and there's a bunch of crazy little kids running around with a bubble gun. What the fuck is going on? Either way, we're going right back into the playoffs, the finals. The Pistons win game 2. Mavs win game 3, 4, 5. I don't know how to count. I'm pretty sure I screwed up that whole thing. But let me tell you, when there's a bunch of little kids running around outside your window, it's freaky, man. What if they start banging on my window while I'm recording and start yelling at me? I got my AC in. Maybe they can hear me through the AC. Oh god, someone's parents are about to come murder me. If I never release another video, that's because I was killed for looking out the window. Cade Cunningham, your finals MVP. Larry wins his 2nd championship. He's on the much better team. He has the much better situation. 2 more seasons to go, and so far, Dennis Rodman, you were getting proven wrong expeditiously. Did I use that word right? I don't know. I hope so. 2 more draft classes to go. This season, we're adding Scottie Pippen and Bill Russell. Yeah, I know Bill Russell never played with Larry Bird, but he's an old Celtics legend. Let's see how he do in the current NBA. The teams are practically the same exact rosters as last season, so I'm not going to show them off. Next draft class after this one, I'm going to add Jordan and Isaiah Thomas, because that will be the final season. Hello, Victor, Mr. Tallman. You're welcome. You can have MVP. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year in New York. Aaron Bradshaw, don't care. None of our guys are here, but Monty won Coach of the Year. Brandon Miller made the All-NBA 2nd team over Dennis Rodman. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Dennis Rodman and Larry Bird made a 3rd team. I was just about to start talking about how Dennis Rodman still hasn't made a single All-NBA team, but he changed my mind. Or proved me wrong, I guess is the correct words to say. He averaged 17 and 14 with 2 blocks this year. Larry Bird also made the All-NBA 3rd team. He's been making All-NBA teams since he came out the womb. Are you surprised? The Pistons and the Hornets are the 2 best teams in the entire NBA, so if everything goes right, we should see them match up in the finals. Brooklyn and Sacramento is all that's standing in the way of these two, and of course, Sacramento has to ruin the goddamn day. De'Aaron Fox, Jalen Green, Porzingis, Bam, and Mata. Wait, how did y'all get this team? They are cracked. They don't need Sabonis anymore. I feel like Sabonis is still on their bench, isn't he? Nope, I was wrong. There is no Mr. Sabonis, but they still have off night. They got Matas, which I already show, Keegan Murray, Paul Reed, Tim Hardaway Jr. They got a solid roster, but Larry don't care. He's a man of dynasties, and you know he's not stopping at 2. He is going to get number 3. He's going to get number 3. There we go. I was just waiting for them to win a championship. I know what was happening. Bam, Cade Cunningham, another finals MVP. Larry has 3 rings, so he's already better than Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman cannot catch up to him. Also, I just realized I'm a little dumb. Next season is the last season, so I'm going to add Jordan and Isaiah Thomas to the draft class right now. And because it's the last season, Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas are still both going to be in their primes when they join this league. I'm not going to make them rookies, okay? We're not going to see them progress anyway. It's a one more season type thing. Bill Russell is a 99 overall as well, so the top of this draft is going to be loaded. We also got Scottie Pippen. He's only a 79 overall. Why? I don't know. It's supposed to be like a 95, but I guess 2K didn't want to see that happen. Steph Curry's trying to retire. Nope, I'm making that illegal. Same thing with Clay. Another thing to keep an eye on is Rodman has not signed an extension yet with the Charlotte Hornets, so he could be leaving and going to a different team this offseason for his final season, but Larry Bird is locked up for one last year. Dennis Rodman has headed over to Toronto over in the great land of Canada, team up with Lonzo Ball, Joel Embiid, Grady Dick, and Jet Howard. Also, although this guy's name is in trade rumors constantly, they kept OG, shockingly, I know. They also have Grayson Allen and Dennis Smith Jr. You know what? It's a fun team. I like your choice, Dennis. Now, he doesn't know it's his final season, but later at the end of playoffs, after the finals, after we find out who wins, there's going to be a giant meteor shaped like Michael Jordan's face. It's going to come in and boom, hit Larry Bird and Dennis Rodman, knock them both out. They'll never be able to play in the NBA again. Dennis Rodman's currently 9-15. His team sucks. Hopefully this changes by the time we get to playoffs. Victor wins another MVP, but I'm going to be honest, I'm sick of seeing Victor win it. Who do I want to give it to? I could select anybody in the league right now. I could give it to Larry Bird. I could give it to Michael Jordan, who ended up on the Trailblazers, by the way. I haven't even shown that yet, but hey, yeah, shout out to him. You know what? We're going to give it to Anthony Simons. He is your MVP this season, averaging 18 points, 6 assists, absolute bucket getter this year. Michael Jordan is your Rookie of the Year. Already showed him. Isaiah, good for you. Bill Russell, Defensive Player of the Year. He went to Miami, the same place that Larry Bird started at. I don't know what's up with Celtics legends going straight to the Miami Heat. I don't know if this is some sick joke by 2K. Larry Bird, Bill Russell, Giannis, Josh Giddey, and Jordan are all on the All-NBA second team. Larry Bird averaged a career high in points, rebounds, and assists this season. Oh, wait, never mind. I can't read. He averaged 9 assists a few years ago. It's fine. He still did really good. The Pistons were the 4th seed. Toronto is the 14th seed. Toronto's going to get absolutely smoked, and it's not looking good for us either. The 13th seed Philadelphia is up a game on us, and they beat us in 6. The most lackluster ending possible right here for a video about these two legends who have been winning throughout the whole thing. And then we get to the final seasons. Nobody wins. We got Bucks versus the Spurs. Victor is a champion. He went on a revenge tour because I gave his finals MVP to Anthony Simons. That's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, YouTube things. Have a great day. Peace.